All right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to We Still on Learn. Right? Now, of course, what I did before was the Facebook edition. This is now the YouTube edition. Right? Yeah. I feel like the Facebook Live is a little bit more difficult to do. Now, one of the things that I think, or rather that I would encourage, I mean, so here's the issue. You need to have Zoom Pro. The best thing to do is to pay for the annual plan. Because if you have the annual plan, the last thing you want is to be pestered every month for money. So just pay the yearly plan and call it a day. Yeah, pay for the yearly plan. Pay for the yearly plan, and I have advice for all of my teachers, right? Now, your 9 to 5, you use it to pay your bills. Building your own brand, you use that to support yourself and your family. Okay? You support your family and yourself with the brand that you built as a teacher for yourself, because these people are not going to coach you to build your own brand as a teacher. They're not going to do that. I will, because I'm tired of seeing my colleagues run themselves into the ground. I've even done it to myself in recent times. I decided, hey, wait a minute. Isn't this the reason why I resigned in the first place? Doing things that don't serve me at all. And it doesn't improve my situation at all. Don't get me wrong. It is all well and good to be noble and, show up and be loyal and all of those things. But compensation is also important. Nobody's working for free. Nobody's working for free. And what I aim to do is to use this here platform to help to teach you how to protect yourself from being exploited by your employers, by your principals, by your admin, by the parents. Yeah, you protect yourself by building a brand. That way, when somebody comes and they attempt to disrespect you, you look at them and you say, you realize that I have a large clientele of people, that losing you as a customer it's not a blip on the radar. I can afford to lose you as a customer. Not because you want to be disrespectful, but because there are some people that feel very entitled and feel like, well, my child is the only child you need to focus on. I have 100 students in my Zoom room. 100 of them. Mind you don't want 100 of them. Right? But just in case you get popular enough to the point where you're almost housing a university lecture in your room, then you can drop the figure just to let them know, listen, this is not some run-of-the-mill teacher you're talking to. This is somebody that is in high demand. And because I'm in high demand, there's a reason for that. I give people results, and I ensure that not only do they understand, but they understand for life. Because, see, there is a difference. There are some people that they can understand to pass the exam, but give them the paper to do again. And you'll see if they truly do. I realized that I wasn't as good at mathematics as I thought I was. Why? Because there are certain techniques that just weren't made available to me. And you know what? It boils down to time. You have to realize that I feel like there are certain subjects where you have to give people time. I feel like some of the time, you give these people exam conditions that are not really realistic and not really representative of how mathematicians really work. They spend hours at a time figuring out how to solve a problem. And yet after doing something like that, you're giving someone maybe an hour and a half to do something that, but story for another day. I have conversations with a lot of teachers, a lot of coaches, a lot of everybody. Let me just tell you, I am somewhat simultaneously working at 2 schools. Right? And why is that important? And why is it relevant? Well, it's relevant because you start hearing the plights and you start seeing it for yourself. So therefore, nobody can come to me and tell me what I've seen. I know what I've seen. I've seen teachers go to work for weeks and barely have enough fare to get to work. And if they do have the fare, they don't have money to buy lunch in the days. And then they're waiting on their pay, and then the week that they're supposed to get paid, no payment is applied to their account. I've seen situations like that. And then you have to understand what that does to people. You know, you can't undermine people's sacrifice. Because when you do that, what ends up happening now is that you're at the mercy of them saying, well, what's the punishment for me not showing up to work? Because I'm showing up to work and not getting paid. So if I don't show up to work, I'm still